My grandmother was from Shanghai. She was born in a poor family in the village, and she was the youngest child in the family. My grandmother and her elder brother both did not have the chance to go to school. There was not many things to do in the village, but she never felt boring. In the morning, she used to help her family to do some farm work with her brother. And when they finished their work, they would play with other kids in the village. They would catch fishes and crabs from the pond or play hide and seek in the village. My grandmother and her brother would bring the crabs back home to make pickled baby crabs. They would pour some wine in the jar and put the baby crabs in it. Those baby crabs were the tastiest thing my grandmother had ever eaten, because to her, the taste always reminded her home and childhood. After my grandmother got married, she and my grandfather decided to move to Hong Kong to pursue a better life because they don't want to stay in the village their whole life. When they arrived in Hong Kong, the first place they used to live in was a squatter area in Tai Wo Hao. The living condition was poor and they even did not have their own bathroom. But after a few years, they moved to a public housing in Lai King and their living conditions were improved. It was there my mother was born. My grandmother used to cook a lot of traditional Shanghai dishes and my mom really liked them. My grandmother would make a lot of homemade pickled vegetables and one of them is the preserved bean curd. She would store them in a jar and put them in the kitchen. All the neighbors said they were really smelly, but the smellier they were, the tastier they were. One time it was too smelly. One of the neighbors called the police because they thought there was a dead body. My grandmother worked in a factory making plastic flowers, and my grandfather worked as a security guard to provide for the family. Because they had 4 kids to raise, so they did not have much time to see their kids, as they always worked very late. She could not spend too much time with her children and felt very sad about it. She felt like as a mother it was her responsibility to cook them a tasty and healthy meal. So she used to make a lot of homemade Shanghai food she learned when she was young for her children. But still, not spending enough time with her children is one of her greatest regrets. My grandmother used to bring my mother and her siblings back to Shanghai every year to visit their relatives and go back to the village she grew up in. And they would bring some of the pickled baby crabs back to Hong Kong. But now, even though she's too old to cook and travel, she said, as a mother and grandmother, remembering our smile after we taste her food is the greatest joy in her life.